everybody faces the down period in their life. So what did you do to have that confidence to continue and not feel depressed about it, or not feel sad about it? Because everybody faces some point in their the clinical time that we are having no patience. So either they just close the setup and then go off, or they take up some other job and all those things. So how did you keep yourself motivated for that?
See, there are two aspects on this. One is the financial aspect of a business, what we are doing. And another thing is your work is your passion. It's that way with me. My work is I'm totally passionate about the work I do. Like the dentistry I do, I'm totally passionate about it. So when I'm doing, nothing is more important than that work for myself. More than patient, it is for myself. So that particular aspect is there, and another aspect is a financial aspect. So initially, when I started up, obviously the financial aspect wasn't that much in frame. So slowly I started. So there have been a drops. So there have been two kind of situations, I can say, that every time I'm doing a root canal, there could be some issues and small failures and downfalls are there. So I had never given myself any other option than success. I'm kind of a motivated inside so much that I have never given myself any option. So that has been the first thing what I have done. That uh, the background with which I come, family, I have kept very high targets for myself. I'm not scared of falling. I'm not scared of failures. But I've kept very high targets for myself. As in, as I told you initially, if I have started, I want to see all my appointments full. You know, it's a difficult target to achieve in first 4 months for a setup. So I have done some tremendously different things. I did not first thing about financial aspect is I did not rent out a shop which is in the more prime area, little bit inside, so I don't have to pay too much of rent. Because see, if you come in the front area, the visibility we say is more, okay, but rent also is more. So I was inside, so the rent is less. To be very frank with you, 3,700 was my rent when I started. Now that 3,700 and other electricity bills and everything would be fine. So the start only is not too harsh on my pocket, and it goes on for 11 months, and 2 3 years I was on rent for good 8 years. Then I purchased my own shop. So as I started with less rent, it was always easy on my pocket. So if I had started with some 15,000, you imagine, then it is difficult. It is very difficult. Then it goes on increasing, and you are always under that peer pressure. So this is the first thing I did. Now, second thing about my profession, this was about financial aspect. So you would not invest too much, so that I had not invested in a lot of furniture. You get my point. So from investment point of view, I had kept it always low. I wanted
Hmm.
people to come to me on my merits.
Hmm.
I wanted people to meet me, talk to me, get treated by me, and then decide whether they want to come with their family to me. I did not start because I have a nice board, nice lighting. I did not even had a front door. You could directly see my waiting area. No air condition. So I started with that. Basic chairs, basic one chair, minimum investment. I started with that. What people want is the dental treatment. So I had all the things, basic equipments to treat the basic. So that is how I started. So it was little easy on my pocket to achieve the monthly break even was easy. And the second part was I was always confident that I would attract patients by my work.
Huh.
I'll tell you one story.
Yes,
What
sir.
happened is uh, I have been see, we have seen Dr. Samida Gandhi, how
Yes.
professional she is, how sincere she is, how honest she is, how ethical she is. All that, you have seen.
And I have seen
Uh,
all those things with
the
you also,
mentor
sir,
of
when I worked with you.
that's what. See what the best part I'll tell you in your life, if you get right people at right time. And I've been absolutely fortunate. So, I started up my practice. There was no need, but my brother still told me that, Samir, you don't worry in case you don't get, rent for that month. It's okay. I will pay for you. Because his elder brother is already started earning. I said, okay, okay, thank you. Like that. See, they are always your fallback plan. But first month, one of my friend came to me, and 9:30 onwards we started working. So वो महीना निकल गया. So the thing is,
Very
we
good.
have been doing. Then I told ma'am also, ma'am, it's been 4 months now. We have all the 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. all the slots full. I have patients for all the slots. So this started happening. But obviously, when you are a new practitioner, it won't happen like abhi it has started and everybody has started only coming to you and you don't have vacancy, like no free time. It won't happen. It will be like ups and downs, and so there will be times like in now there is a festival time, the patients will drop. There is something. So all this we started experiencing. So I only had one assistant of mine. So from 5 o'clock one day, someday, I don't know, we were sitting. So my focus and everything was so much positive that
Mhm.
I had a method of not sitting idle. See, you are in that premise and you want that premise and the profession of yours to flourish. Then you must do every second, you must invest in getting it better. You can't just हाथ पे हाथ धर के बैठो and things should happen. It won't happen with you. It would never happen. You have to do some efforts. So with all the other those days I used to do a dental checkup and something school mein jao and do something. So the media and social media and everything wasn't there those days. So I was in spite of doing all that, we had no patients. From 5 o'clock I was just sitting like that. And somebody you appoint for 5, he doesn't turn up. Some 6 o'clock also doesn't turn. So we are sitting. And I told him, I have a practice, as I told you, that abhi patient aaya, silver filling hai. So what you will do? Keep it ready. So all those things were also done. So there was a silence because there was nothing to be done in spite of doing everything. So then, even if he is my staff, you know what he said? Uh, कि सर अपना क्लिनिक ना थोड़ा बाहर के बाजू में होना चाहिए था ताकि थोड़ा अपना मतलब दिखे वगैरह वगैरह. आई सेड हाउ डज इट मैटर, लाइक वी आई डोंट थिंक इट वुड मैटर, मुझे मन में मैं ये बोल रहा था. मैं चुप रहा. फिर जैसे ही देखा एक 7 साढ़े 7 बजे हैं. So probably we had spent around 8 9 months there already, or a year or something. So this is a incidence of that. Suddenly we saw so many patients, all those who had not come has also come, and suddenly we were visited 10:30. So then I was looking at him, see how life, changes with this thing, that you got to have a positive intent. Of course, you got to work on your weaknesses, your strengths, and you got to be very, very critical analyst of your own. Without that, things won't happen. You can't be reluctant, or you can't be casual about things. I was very, very strict. As I said, I am now little less strict in the office because it adds up a pressure here. After some
Ah,
time, all this stuff I have learned. It's been a journey that you start as a fresh, and you accomplish some good, as you said, time in the profession. And because I had worked somewhere, and some experience and the tremendous confidence in me. So I was confident that I will be able to attract patients for the treatment on my own merits. So that I was always confident. On the second patient who visited my clinic told me, she walked in the office and said, I want 15,000 rupees ka bill. What is your cut in that? Give me the bill. I folded my hands and I told her that I don't want to be known for this thing, and I would never do it. Today also, I don't do it anything like this. So if you have any dental issue, you can show me. I will give you the best advice for that. But for these reasons, I am not. So you have to create your own brand in a way. So from that time only, I am creating my brand. So I am taking care of my brand because, as I told you, I had a bigger targets. The bigger target is to create my brand. If people say, oh, Che, you've been to SK's dental clinic, so that's a standard. So I want to keep that standard for myself in the market. See, because every people are connected. People will meet each other, talk to each other. You don't know the first patient and the 10th patient could be knowing each other. So everybody is connected, and they spread out, your name in market. So the downfalls, if you are talking about, they have been there in terms of uh, little bit of work and you feel disappointed, but the next day you have to go. My parents and my family, my wife, everybody helps me in keeping myself in good position. I had done a blunder with one of my patients wherein they had faced a lot of problems. And the patient never blamed me, but I was myself only not happy with my treatment. And I was really taken in that. And if you go sad and suddenly that situation takes you down very badly. So that had happened with me with one of my case. That patient is still my patient. Whole family comes to me like anything. They support me like anything. But that situation had happened to me. Now my father that time told me that, Samir, you are in that zone where now you are not able to concentrate on anything. Okay. Tell me one thing, this is the one patient, but there are so many other patients who knock your door because they want you to treat. Tell me what is their fault that you cannot, treat them with your 100% mental this thing health. So that particular thing struck me that yes, I have to, be in the good psychological phase always. Otherwise, it is not good on the other patients. Like the Sachin Tendulkar thing, he says that one ball you edge and it goes to the slip, he drops the catch, but your heart has almost come out with that ball. But by the time that ball is going to the other end, you have to be completely relaxed and ready 100% for the next ball. So it is like that, we have to
Hmm.
have a good believe in yourself. Critical analysis is must, but you cannot go down with this because you have been given that job. There are so
Hmm.
many
Hmm.
patients every now and then I treat them, I relieve their pain or do talk to them, and they give me so much overwhelming response that, doctor, thank you for being there or something like that. So you have to be there for everybody. Some people will never appreciate you or criticize you. Things happens, but that is the psychological part. Another thing about failure is, or the downfall is, after finishing 12 years of my practice, suddenly patients stopped coming to me. Suddenly I realized that there are no patients in the clinic, new patients, and
Okay.
whoever are coming are not getting the treatment done. My conversion rate and success rate and everything of my own analysis is 95%. So if I see 900 patients, 95 will get treated. If I do
Yes.
100 fillings, 95 are perfect. So
Yes, that's
this
so true.
this kind of
I
a
have seen that when I worked there.
so this has been my this thing, and suddenly in 2018, after the demonetization, we realized that all the people in our or in our area or whatever have stopped coming to us. That had gone down drastically.
Oh
Maybe
God.
it did not affect my financial this thing by that time, but it had stopped, and we could not figure out the reason for it. And that is the time when you have to be humble. You have to
Hmm.
be grounded. So I was
Hmm.
sitting, and this team with which I'm working, I'm already working with them for 12 years, you understand. So it's been a good time I'm working with them. But still, they would not upfront tell you, like your mother would tell you, no, ये क्या कर रही है
Yes,
ना?
yes.
Your
Huh,
husband
huh.
will take you, or your kids, or your very close people will not think about what you think about that statement, but they'll
Huh.
directly throw that statement at you. So these guys never did that way, okay?
Hmm.
But then I was sitting in the waiting, and I don't know when I was sitting in the waiting before that, because it would be always full. Sitting will be out of where when I would go and sit in the waiting area. So I was sitting in the waiting area, and I was saying यार क्या चल रहा है, मतलब आप लोग ही कुछ बताओ अभी, what is happening, like. So everybody started sharing. The moment I was open up for suggestions, see,
Hmm.
they are not very highly educated people. The staff, what educated they will be, 10th, 11th, or something like that, or at the most graduation. But they are so wise people. They did not suggest me, or did not, they went along with me, they did not leave me. But the moment they realized that he is now actually ready to take such suggestions, so then they started sharing that, sir, your root canal charges, now what you're doing, no new experiment what you have done, this is the problem. People are getting that this feel that you are suddenly high, so people are suddenly stopped with you and suddenly trying to go for other options. Then there is a dentist next door, her charges are suddenly like that. So although you are not cheating with people, but there is an illusion that you're doing that, okay? And after demonetizations, we were quite strict with payment. We were
Huh, huh.
insisting, no, you have to pay. So it was sounding all kind of a rough to people, people were not happy. You have to ask for money, but there is a subtle way of doing it. So if it becomes too harsh, people don't like. If I'm the vendor and you've come to take the services, but there is a polite way of handling the payment part. It is
Correct,
my right
correct.
to take the payment, correct?
Hmm.
मैंने काम किया तो मेरा हक है ना, पैसा दो.
Huh,
बट
huh.
उसको मांगने का भी तरीके में थोड़ा थोड़ा गलतियां हो रही थी, बिकॉज वी हैड बिकम डेस्परेट, because the situations were such, demonetization, difficult times, everybody was asking for payment without that. So that was a tough time for everybody. But as a doctor, as a caring profession, we have to be good. And that phase goes na, जैसा rolling start होता है, but that harshness and that little rough way of handling the payment part was damaging us. So we realized these two aspects. Then we created all that weak points, we eliminated. Now this was on one point. Another point was your social media. One of my friend had come to me and she had Google reviewed me. That was the only Google rating I had by that time. By 2018, I have started in 2005 and had only one Google rating. And I said, everybody in this world now Google search करता है, rating देखता है, और उसके बाद ही वो लोग आते हैं. So the new generation would not come to you unless you have some social media presence. Then I actively started. There were so many patients of mine and friends I knew that who would I have treated also, and they would give me good ratings. Then I extended myself to them and that said that you review me. Then I started working on that. Then I had my YouTube channel and my Facebook page, now Instagram
Now
and
you are very
Reels and
active on social
everything.
media.
Now we have some, no, I'm not very active. We have some presence. See, it's important to have this presence. That is not going to sustain the patient. But unless that is there, that one tick is not there. If patients want to come to you, it is not there. Then I started with the documentation and started uploading my work on my own YouTube channel. So now the thing is such that we have to, now we are reopening in Ganpati. So one day on 6th we will reopen. 6th full day only kept to arrange all the appointments. We cannot work. We have so much of work that we have to keep one day spare. Everybody will come, staff will come, keep things, check everything. We cannot immediately start. Now we have so much of work
Okay.
that we don't get time to teach them brushing technique video. We may not get that time. In 3-chair practice also, separate reception, separate waiting also, we say that we go open up their phone, show them our YouTube channel, they download it, go home and watch. We tell them few tips. So what this social media is doing, the YouTube and all the information what we have put up on the platforms, it is helping us teach them better, and that's a good feel also, because they can share, अरे मैंने एक अच्छा ये देखा, तुम भी देखो, you know, that way. So you have suddenly good presence, and lot of time is saved because things are talking. Somebody has a fractured tooth, अभी मैं कितना बताएगा, उसमें एक लिमिट है. But they go on my YouTube channel and they see somebody's tooth being treated the same way, and they can see the results. They get some feel about it now, and they see now the beautifully everybody has said so many nice things about me and my staff, and Google reviews. So all that is there, you know. So that helps. So these are the difficult times. So I was really in shock when I realized कि 12 साल after you stay on peak, suddenly there is such a downfall. But that teaches you, and you learn from that. You have to be patient.
That's actually very eye-opening kind of story, sir. Because everybody feels that एक बार click हो गया तो फिर success ही success है. There's no downfall. But ऐसा नहीं है. It's a constant
It's a
upgradation or constant thing which you have to take care, nurture करना पड़ता है, जैसे हम बच्चे को nurture करते हैं. तो हर एक platform में, हर एक step में we have to see how we are performing, how our staff is performing.